Here now we will see how to find out the bearings from the angles when we do traversing by deflection angle method. Okay, here in deflection angle method, what we do, if there is some way like A, B, C, D, E. So here we used to find out the bearing of the first line only. Here we will find out the bearing of the first line only, and then we are used to find out deflection angle of the remaining line. Suppose this is one angle, this will be one deflection angle alpha 1. Then if this is the another angle, we used to find this another deflection angle alpha 2. Again we used to find deflection angle like this alpha 3. Means here what we do, we find out the include angle of the first line and then deflection angle of the other line. Now what we have to do, we have to find out the bearing of each line. Okay, what we have the bearing of the first line and other deflection angles. From that we have to find it out bearing of each line. Okay, so here the simple formula is there. How to find out the bearing of the next line? That bearing of line is equal to bearing of preceding line plus or minus this deflection angle. That is bearing of preceding line. Suppose if we have to find out the bearing of line BC, then what we have to do, we have to use the bearing of the preceding line, bearing of line AB, plus we have to just add this deflection angle alpha. Now where to use plus and where to use minus? We will use plus. That is, here we can write this formula as theta plus minus alpha. Where to use plus? When there is a deflection, right hand side deflection, then we will add that angle, and if there is a left hand deflection, then we will subtract that angle. Here we can see, here the deflection is right hand side, along right hand side. Okay, this is line and then deflection is along right hand side. Here you can see this is the line and deflection is along left hand side. This deflection is along left hand side. So we will subtract this angle. Suppose here we have to find out the bearing of the line BC. Then here how can we apply this? Bearing of BC is equal to bearing of AB. This is the bearing of AB plus what we have to do here? Here deflection is along right hand side, so we will do here plus alpha 1. Okay. If we have to find the bearing of next line, that is bearing of line CD, then what we have to do? We have to add bearing of line CD. Bearing of line BC plus here we have to find the bearing of line CD. So here what we will do? Bearing of preceding line, that is preceding line is bearing of BC. Here what is deflection plus or minus? Here along deflection is along left hand side. So what we will do here? Minus alpha 2. Here we will do what is minus alpha 2. Here we have done plus alpha 2 because deflection is right hand side. Here we have subtracted deflection angle because deflection is along left hand side. Here now how to check if our calculation is correct or not? Here we have to calculate bearing of the last line by using formula. Bearing of the last line is equal to bearing of the initial line plus sum of all positive deflection minus sum of all negative deflection. Okay, so we have to check by this is whatever the bearing of the last line we have find it out by calculation is getting the same what we are getting by this formula. Okay, so let us see one problem so your idea will get more clear. Here is a problem given. The traverse is run from A to G and deflection angle are as follows. There is one open traverse which runs from A to G. Here the deflection angle measure at each station is given. Here at for station A, angle is 30 degrees 16 minutes and deflection is left hand deflection. Deflection angle at station C is 180 degree 34 minutes and deflection is right hand side deflection. At station D, angle is 20 degree 12 minutes and deflection is left hand deflection, and angle E at station E angle is 40 degree 24 minute, deflection is right hand deflection, and at station EF deflection angle is 50 degree 42 minute, deflection is right hand deflection. And we have to compute the bearing for the remaining lines of a traverse given that forward bearing of line AB, first line, initial line is given. So here how can we find it out? Solution. Here we can find out the bearing of next line by the formula, by using formula bearing of any line. Any line is equal to bearing of preceding line, line plus minus deflection angle. Here we will use plus sign when deflection is along right hand side and negative sign when deflection along left hand side. So let us move. First, bearing of line AB is given. So here we can write it like that: bearing of line AB equal to how much it is? It is 110 degree and 6 minutes. Okay. So here from the next is station B. At station B, what is the deflection angle? It is 32 degree and 16 minutes. And deflection is left hand side. Here, how can we deduct deflection angle B? That is, what is the deflection angle B? That is 32 degree and 16 minutes. Okay. Because why we are deducting it? Because deflection is along left deflection. So we are deducting it. Okay. So what will get the value? 77 degree and 50 minutes. And this is nothing but the bearing of line BC. This is nothing but bearing of line BC. Okay, how we got the bearing of line BC? That bearing of preceding line plus deflection angle at B. Okay, and this is deflection angle is along left hand side, so we have deducted deflection angle is 30 degree. So we got the bearing of line next line BC as a 77 degree 50 minutes. Now next angle is deflection angle C. So what is angle C? It is right hand deflection. So we'll add deflection angle C because it is right hand deflection. So we'll get the next deflection angle, that is angle bearing of line CD, by adding bearing of BC plus this deflection angle C, that is 96 degree and 24 minutes. Okay, this we got the bearing for line CD. Next angle deflection angle is angle D. Okay, so here deflection is left hand side deflection, so we have to deduct this deflection, left hand deflection of angle D from this bearing. So here we will deduct this deflection, of angle D, and so we got the bearing of line D, that is next line, that is bearing of line D is 74 degree 12 minutes. Okay, now what is the next deflection angle? Deflection is right hand side, deflection at E. So what we have to do? We have to add this deflection. So what we can write? Add deflection angle. Which is the deflection angle? Next is the deflection angle E, that is equal to 42 degree and 24 minutes. So we'll add this 74 degree 12 minutes. What is this? This is 74 degree and 12 minutes, and we'll add these both. Why we are adding? Because it is a right hand deflection. It is right hand deflection. Okay, so we are adding it. So here we will get the bearing of next line. We will get 116 degree and 36 minutes. And this is nothing but bearing of, next line is bearing of line EF. Bearing of line EF. Bearing of line EF. Okay. So next again, what is next deflection angle? Deflection angle F, and it is right hand deflection. So we have to subtract it. So here we have to subtract that deflection. So what we can write here? Deduct deflection angle F. And what is the deflection angle? No, not deduct. Here it is the right hand deflection. So we have to add this deflection. We have to add because it is a right hand deflection. What is that deflection angle F? And it is equal to 52 degree and 42 minutes. 52 degree and 42 minutes. Deflection is right hand side deflection. So what we are adding it. So by adding it, what we will get? What will get? 169 degree and 18 minutes. That is nothing but the bearing of line, which line? FG. Bearing of line FG, our, because our traverse run from up to, that is up to point G. So it is nothing but the bearing of line FG. Okay. So here what we got? We got the bearing of line FG. So here now we have to go for check. What is the check? Check, as discussed previously, bearing of last line is equal to bearing of first line plus summation right deflection angle minus summation left deflection angle. So here we will first calculate summation of the right deflection angle. So right deflection is 18 degree 34 minutes, 40 degree 24 minutes, 52 degree 42 minutes. That is coming 113 degree 40 minutes, and left hand deflection we are solving, that is coming 30 degree 16 minutes plus 22 degree 12 minutes. It is coming 54 degree 28 minutes. So here for check, we have, what is the bearing of initial line? That is bearing of line AB is 110 degree and 6 minutes, plus what is the right hand deflection? Sum of right hand deflection is coming 113 degree 40 minutes, and what is the sum of left hand deflection? That we have to deduct it. Left hand deflection angle sum is coming as a 54 degree and 28 minutes. If we add up it all, we will get the value 169 degree and 18 minutes. This is nothing but the bearing of last line. Okay, so this is check. What we are doing here, we have the bearing of first line. To get the bearing of next line, we are adding or deducting the deflection angle based on, if it is left hand deflection, we will deducting it, and if it is a right deflection, we are adding it to get the bearing of next line. After getting bearing of all lines, we have to go for the check, and this check is bearing of last line is equal to bearing of first line, that is bearing of initial line, plus summation of all right hand deflection minus summation of all left hand deflection. By that value should get equal to the what we have got, the bearing of the last line. This is nothing but the check. Thank you.